You think you understand exponential relationships. But can you explain them? Let's check. If the relationship between variables x and y is exponential, which feature would most likely appear in a scatterplot? Take a moment. Don't calculate. Don't jump. What does exponential actually mean? Look at the choices. A. Rate changes at a constant ratio. B. Straight line. C. Constant rate of change. D. Decreases by a constant amount. Which one are you choosing, and more importantly, why? Pause here if you need to. Now let's clarify the difference. A linear relationship adds the same amount each step. If x increases by 1, y increases by a fixed number. The difference stays constant. That produces a straight line. But exponential relationships do something different. They do not add, they multiply. Each step changes by the same factor, not the same amount. So the gap between values grows. The increase itself increases. Many students mix these two ideas. They hear increasing and assume straight line. But a straight line means constant difference. Exponential means constant ratio, and those are not the same thing. Constant difference is linear. Constant ratio is exponential. If you confuse those two, you will almost always choose the wrong answer. So before looking back at the choices, anchor this idea firmly. Constant difference does not equal constant ratio. That distinction determines the shape. On the left, you see a linear relationship. Each step to the right adds roughly the same amount to y. The vertical change between points stays consistent. That is why the points fall along a straight line. Linear growth means constant difference. Now look at the graph on the right. At first, the increase is small. But as x continues to grow, the rise becomes steeper and steeper. Each step is not adding the same amount. Instead, it multiplies by the same factor. That creates acceleration. The curve bends upward because the growth compounds. So the visual difference is critical. A straight line signals constant difference. A curved shape that steepens signals constant ratio. When you train your eye to notice this distinction, you no longer guess. You recognize the pattern. And once you recognize it, the answer becomes structural, not computational. You got it right. The correct answer is exponential relationships change by a constant ratio. But that's not the real skill. Most people can recognize the pattern. They see the curve and think exponential. The deeper question is this. Can you explain, in your own words, why multiplying by the same ratio creates a curve instead of a straight line? Not just what it looks like, but why it behaves that way. That's the difference between recognizing and understanding. If you want to test that skill, try it here. Practice.learningassistant.jp